Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. I'm Surbhi and this is Perspective 360 Degree, your one-stop solution for current affairs, descriptive writing and answer writing evaluation. For those of you who are joining me again, it's our 43rd lecture of Perspective 360. So welcome back. And if you're somebody who is watching me and this initiative for the first time, again, welcome to you as well. Here we prepare you for phase 2 part of your regulatory bodies examination, which has a descriptive writing portion which is very much newly added in most of these, and students find it tough to write answers on topics, especially the topics that appear in current affairs, since there is not a lot of fodder material available or writing guidance available for them. So here this is your one-stop solution for all. After watching this video, that is after gaining the insights about the topic that we are studying today and learning from me how to write an answer on it, you can actually write your own answer after this. And where do you post it? You post it in the comment section under this video, and our team will evaluate that entirely free of cost. So good evening all of you, and this is a recorded video that you're watching. No, it's not a live session. We will be conducting a live session on Friday, since Perspective 360 Degree is meant to be live. But whatever things you have to share, meanwhile, kindly share them in the live chat or in the comment section under this video so that I can answer them or respond to them later. Alright, so let's begin. The topic is circular economy for today. Circular economy has been in news, and the good part is that it falls in almost the same part of our syllabus in which the previous topic, that is COP28, fell in. So we'll be able to cover like 2 topics from the same portion of our syllabus. That's very good for us. So the news that was coming on 6th December was that there is a national circular economy roadmap for reduction of plastic waste in India that has been launched by Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh. Also, he also said that India has taken the lead in its quest for a circular economy towards achieving the net zero target by 2070. For those of you who do not know what net zero is, kindly after this go back to the previous video of COP28. I have explained all the concepts, all the important concepts related to environment there very efficiently, very comprehensively. So find out these concepts there. The other news is that India has set an ambitious agenda for circular economy at Conference of Indian Industry at the 8th International Conference on Waste to Earth. So CII conducted this Waste to Earth, or it participated in International Conference on Waste to Earth. This new framework has been launched. What is the framework called? It's called National Circular Economy Framework. More on this in the coming slides. So this framework is important for you because it will set an agenda, or it will set a method of achieving or becoming a circular economy for India. Then there are careers in India's circular economy which are being talked about, and that's one of the biggest benefits of having a circular economy. More jobs, more employment opportunities, and more benefit to your economy. So here India's circular economy is likely to touch $2 trillion by 2050. So that's just circular economy that we are talking about. And the CII has also said that we need to have a special authority, a separate authority to implement this national circular economy framework. So they're asking for a separate authority. Will it be created or not? That we are yet to see. First of all, let's look at the relevance of this topic from our exam point of view. If I talk about RBI Grade B, sustainable development and environmental issues, that is where you find relevance of this topic in your economic and social issues. For NABARD Grade A, again, economic and social issues. The first one is nature of Indian economy. Since it's changing, we are moving towards circular economy. So yes, here. And the second one is health and environment. For SEBI Grade A, again, in the English writing skills and some parts of economy, this topic fits very well. Now, what can be the expected question from here? The very much expected question which has been asked in multiple exams in the past is write a note on circular economy, write a short note on that. But that was a thing of the past. Now we have more details about circular economy. We see so many examples of circular economic activities functioning around us. So you can be asked a tougher question as well. So let's give you a question that prepares you for the easy and tough part both. That is what our approach has been on Perspective 360 Degree. Secretly, it has been our approach. I've not told that to you though. So discuss the concept of a circular economy and its advantages. That's going to be the easy part. is concept of circular economy. The advantages, how will you write advantages? That is going to be the challenge here. How many advantages can you write? Then the second part here is provide an overview of the National Circular Economy Framework introduced by CII. Answer for 600 words and for 15 marks. I'm sure that you must be aware that this framework has been launched for the country, and it's a very, exotic framework that has been launched. So yes, it is important for your exam, both for objective and descriptive point of view. And hold on, even if you find this very tough and a question, let's say a straight away question on circular economy is asked, you can always quote the features of NCEF that you will be studying with me today. So let's get ahead. This is the answer blueprint that you have to follow. Kindly follow this. It will help you get more marks than any of the competitors out there. So divide your answer into 3 parts, that is introduction, main body and conclusion. In the introduction, we will focus on the main theme of the question. What is the main theme of the question here? The main theme is circular economy. What is the main theme of second part? This framework. So let's write a little bit about circular economy and NCEF, the date, the details, why has it been launched in the introduction itself. Then in the body part, what we'll do, we'll write about benefits or advantages of circular economy. In the body part 2, let's talk about overview of National Circular Economy Framework. We'll just give the brief highlights because the exact highlights, they're like long and they're not very crude points that are there. So very soft points, very ambitious points are there. So we'll be talking about there is a lot of subjectivity in the framework. So we'll be talking about that, and then finally we'll summarize that by appreciating circular economy and its benefits for India, and we'll also give a way forward that how can India transition to a circular economy. So yes, talking about the introduction, but first of all, the concept of circular economy has to be clear to you. See, I want you to focus on this part. This talks about linear economy. This part and this part, just focus on the linear economy part. In linear economy, what happens? You take raw materials, you create a product out of those raw materials, and what do? You use those products and you throw them away. So linear economy has a very straightforward approach as indicated by the straight arrow, and there is a lot of waste generated in the linear economy because production is not thoughtful. Production depends on demand or how much popular your product can get. So you use raw materials, you carry out production, those products are used, and then there is a waste generated which is non-recyclable. And probably in a linear economy there is no separation of waste that is currently being carried out in India. We separate our waste into dry and wet waste. So yes, that's not how we want to function as human beings on this planet, because our previous video also indicated that the resources on earth, they are very, very limited. One, you cannot keep on using the same resources, so you'll have to switch to other types of resources. So yes, that is still doable. But on the other hand, the amount of waste that we are generating, who will tackle the waste? Where will the waste go? It will stay in earth. It's like you are using things and you are storing the waste of those things inside your own house, inside your own home. So that is not a situation that we want. We don't want heaps of waste that we currently have. We do not want them to increase. So the idea was with time, it was recycling economy or reuse economy. There what you have, raw materials are there. Yes, using raw materials, some product is created, production is carried out, then those products are used, and some amount of recycling happens or reuse happens. So basically it does not take a linear line. It takes like the raw materials which have been used to actually end as waste products in a bin. They take a longer time because the path of them becoming waste is a little longer since you are also reusing them. Now in circular economy, what is it about? See, it's a very, very innovative idea. What if the products that I'm producing, they are made out of, let's say, on a very sustainable basis, that even when you finish using the product, you can actually convert it into something else. Let's say I run a coffee shop. Okay, I run a coffee shop and I sell coffee. Now previously what I was doing, I was selling coffee in plastic bottles or plastic containers. So what you were doing, you were my the coffee customers, you were buying that coffee and you were throwing away the plastic containers. What if I start asking you to bring your own cups for that coffee, आप अपने cups लेके आइए, bring your own cups, bring your own containers, and I offer you a discount on that. Since I am saving on the coffee plastic cups, and I offer you a discount if you bring your own mugs, which you can wash and then reuse. So that's a sustainable practice. That means your product, that is me selling coffee is my product. My product is designed in such a way that it generates least amount of waste. There is recycling involved because you'll be washing your product. The product itself, जो initial product है, that is itself very, very sustainable. So on the other hand, I could be selling my coffee in like glass bottles, so that you can reuse those glass bottles later, because people are less likely to throw away glass bottles. They use them as containers in their houses many of the times. So that is the crude basic idea of circular economy, that your initial product itself should be not just made because of the demand, it should be made in a very thoughtful manner. The entire process of that product, the use of raw materials, the production, the consumption, the amount of waste that it will generate, that should be mapped before production itself, and the product should be created in such a way that least amount of waste is generated. More and more reusing of the product can happen, and that's about it. So circular economy, as you can see, there is no waste here, negligible waste is here. So wherever the product is coming from, it goes back here. So that is like going back to your roots. That is also, you can, term circular economy in a way. So here, this is a circular economy model provided to us by European Parliament Research Service. Most of the pictures that we'll discuss here are from that website. So yes, raw materials are there. After collecting raw materials, what you have, you plan on a sustainable design that does not harm the environment, that does not produce a lot of waste. And then production of that sustainable design, production happens of that product. After that, distribution happens. So in the consumption itself, there is consumption also, there is reuse also, there is repair also of the same product happening. All right, probably the glass bottles that I'm serving you coffee in, they will be reused. And let's say if you lose the lid of the glass bottle in which I sold coffee to you, that's a very, very ugly looking bottle. Sorry for the... So let's say you lose the lid of this, probably you convert it into a flower pot. All right. So by that time, how many, so many uses or so many purposes this one glass bottle in which you consumed coffee, you bought it from me, that has served. So, that is one of the examples of circular economy, and all of us should practice that. So after that, there is collection of the little amount of waste that is generated, and waste management occurs here. Waste is not thrown out in the landfills. So proper segregation of waste and waste management occurs, and recycling happens at this stage. So even the little amount of waste that is generated, that gets recycled, so that your environment is not harmed, your economy can benefit. Now the catch here is, not all the people are very creative to work in the circular economy model. So we need more creative people. And when we need more creative people to come out with new ideas, that's the time when we, when we create more jobs. I shared the example of a calendar that I ordered a few days back for the year 2024 in one of the previous videos. The calendar, let's say it was on a little stand of wood, and it was a very small stand, so wood is biodegradable. Also, I will be reusing that stand for sure. And here, let's say it's written January. So January, it was not based on synthetic paper or, very highly polished paper. It was not based on that. It was created on handmade paper, and it had seeds embedded in it. For example, January had the seeds of tomato. So after I'm done with January, I can actually put that paper inside soil. The ink was also biodegradable. It was natural ink. So I can put the January paper inside the soil, water it, and since it contains tomato seeds, so I can actually have a tomato plant. So that is the example of circular economy. Otherwise, what would have I done? I would have ordered a calendar for 2024. This would have been like really harmful ink for the environment, and like plastic sheets, probably no wooden stand, like a lot of iron or steel that goes in the spiral binding. So I would have just thrown it in the dustbin in the year 2025 probably. Now, since you have such products, and such products are not created by everyone, you need a very creative mindset to understand the whole life cycle of the product and to be able to launch such products. So it is very good for such creative businesses. It is very good for people who want to consume such products, and it is very good for people who want to work, who want to find or who want to have these creative jobs. So this is a very small example, and circular economy is the talk of the town. It is something that is going to benefit our economy immensely. Here I'm sharing an example of Rock Garden in Chandigarh. It's a beautiful place. You should definitely visit it. Rock Garden in Chandigarh, it has been created out of waste material. If you can if you can look at these puppets, it was created by the legendary late Shri Nek Chand. If you can look at this, basically Nek Chand did not break the tiles or break down the sinks or bangles out of which this is created, and then this was created. No, he actually knew where the waste collection of Chandigarh is going, and he actually created this entire garden from waste. And for a very long time this was created away from the eyes of government. Even the government did not know it, that such a beautiful marvel is being created. His only plan was to reuse all the waste that has been generated. So here you have pots which have been which were discarded by people. Here you have broken tiles, broken sinks which have been discarded by people. You also have puppets of bangles. I don't have a picture here, which he has created. So this is such an example of circular economy, where the waste can also be used, not like a circular economy example per se, but an example of recycling, that I would call it. Beautiful place, definitely visit. So now I think you are well versed with what circular economy is. Let's write its definition according to World Economic Forum. Yes, you know definition of circular economy, but basic concepts which have a lot of substance, these definitions are good to write on your own, but it is even better if you quote some important organizations and write their definition, even if you cannot copy the exact definition. So according to World Economic Forum, a circular economy is an industrial system that is restorative or regenerative by intention and design. So my intention of creating a product should be restorative and regenerative, and the design should also be in such a way. So it is a model of production and consumption. Both have to occur. It's not just that I keep producing a product that is regenerative and there is no consumption happening. So both the things are involved. That's why it is considered as circular economy, because both production and demand are there. So which involves sharing, leasing, reusing, repairing, refurbishing, recycling existing materials and products as long as possible. Thirdly, it implies reducing waste to a minimum. Life cycle of products is extended, and it is a powerful antidote. Powerful antidote to what? Environment and climate change, which are on the verge of catastrophes. So it has this concept, or has obviously entered scientific debate and industrial debate also, because people are preferring circular or reusable products more, and so hence it has become an important policy priority because of various reasons. India is struggling with waste issues, India is struggling with climate change, India is struggling with lots and lots of import burden. So that is where it can all benefit. And recognizing the importance of circular economy, India launched Resource Efficiency and Circular Economy Industry Coalition under the G20 presidency. Now, what is it? I'm sure even if you're not aware of it, just remember the name, that yes, India has launched something for circular economy. And now this month itself, what has come? CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, brought the National Circular Economy Framework. So in the coming times, we might also have a policy, that means a guiding document for next 10 years for moving towards circular economy. We might have that. So it aims to provide blueprint for India's shift towards a circular economy. So that's important. The most important points have been highlighted in the introduction. You can summarize introduction into few lines. I give you introduction in a pointer format. You don't have to do that. Kindly take the paragraph approach for writing introduction and do not break it into various parts. Now moving on to the body part 1, benefits of circular economy. There are 6 benefits that you can talk about. The first one is transformation of the current throwaway economic model. It generates a lot of waste and hence it is not environment friendly. So first of all, eliminates wastage and increases the circulation of resources. That is very much the definition of it. We will substantiate it with some data. First of all, talking about circularity gap report, it says that only 8.6% of global economy is circular, and 90% of the resources that enter the economy are wasted. So let's say steel that you're using, coal that you're using, any kind of plastic products that you're using, there are 90% of the products that you're using, they will go into the trash bin as waste. So that is a reminder for us that there is a lot of scope in the circular economy landscape. Also, it helps us achieve the Sustainable Development Goal 12, which talks about adoption of responsible production and consumption patterns. So this is a very light benefit, and from here there should be a roadmap created for the tougher benefits to talk about. The second one is increase in employment opportunities, means increase in jobs. So you can here give some example. The other thing that you can do is give some data. And yes, we have data from International Labour Organization, we have data from Niti Aayog. Kindly quote one of these data points and then go to the next point. So not just increase in employment opportunities, increase in like entrepreneurship ventures also. Let's say you have to start the similar calendar business that I was talking about. There are higher chances that you might be able to take a loan under like green investment. Anybody who wants to invest his money in like helping the environment would be ready to help you launch such a startup. So it fosters the development of a new, more inventive and competitive industrial model which is more sustainable. This can result in higher economic growth and more employment opportunities, and private sector can get advantage here by securing green investment or green bonds or environment related bonds. Very high chances that you will let's say get credit for that, get the money for that, for launching such a business. Then there are 3 data points, one from Niti Aayog, the other one from World Economic Forum, and the other one from ILO. So Niti Aayog says that in the next 5 to 7 years, this circular economic model has the potential to produce 1.4 crore employment and lakhs of businesses. And this is this next point here. Sorry, there needs to be an enter. There is immense potential for creating circular jobs and driving sustainable economic growth. Then World Economic Forum says that up to 50 million jobs can be generated with the projected economic impact of $15 trillion. This is not with respect to India, that's the global data, so choose anyone. ILO says that if we shift towards green and sustainable practices, it could result in 24 million jobs by 2030 and 18 million directly related to the renewable energy efficiency, waste management and other resource efficient fields. Now moving on to reduce reliance on imports. This is a very big question mark for India because our crude oil, our other equipments which are very much required, even our the basic supplies for our medicines, they are imported. And the more import dependent your economy is, there are less chances for you to become independent in the world, for your country to grow in size of GDP, because imports are always expensive. So reduce reliance on imports. So reuse of local resources will obviously ask you to reduce the reliance on imports, whether it's in the terms of textiles, paper, any kind of thing. And hence you achieve self-sufficiency here. It also fulfills our vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So the example here given is that used newspapers can be used for making plates, and use of earthen lamps in place of electric lights, that can happen. Then protection of the environment. Why do we talk about protection of environment? Because one, lesser waste would be generated. Secondly, it will help in preservation of biodiversity, since we will not be over exploiting the natural resources. So by consuming fewer natural resources and reducing the generation of waste. Secondly, preservation of biodiversity and reducing pressure on natural resources like forest. For example, decreased mining in forest areas will occur when we choose such sustainable practices. This is some data of CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, which says that India generates 62 million tons of waste every year. So you can quote it anywhere in your answers and just show the way that circular economy is the solution for future. Then the 5th point here is offset the lack of natural resources. And here you can just use the same old data that we use in our essays in all such points related to natural resources, that India just has 2% of global land area, 4% of freshwater resources, and one of the highest populations of the globe. So because it follows a linear economic model of take, make, dispose. And the sixth one here is reduce compliance cost in exports. Now, when I talk about circular economy and compliance cost or greener economy or sustainable products, Europe, countries like Europe are very much vigilant and very much proactive in using such products. They want such products to be to lead the future. So compliance cost of Indian products in Europe is very, very high because they tax our products highly, which are not recyclable. So in India must adopt circular economy models to reduce compliance costs in light of instruments such as European Union's carbon border adjustment mechanism. It places high tariffs on import of carbon intensive products. So I won't say like capitalistic countries like USA, they are not very much, they do not have very high compliance cost, but Europe, to which India deals in terms of trade and like diplomatic relations also. So Europe is very strict in such matters. So if we want to move or we want to expand the markets for India, then reducing compliance costs with the help of circular economy is your way to go. Now moving on to body part 2 and giving brief highlights of national circular economy framework. So the first thing that they have talked about is they have told that if we use this approach of circular economy, then carbon emissions of India, they can be reduced by 50%. So obviously Conference of Parties to UNFCCC, that's going to be very happy if we can move to circular economy. And also we can help, it can also help us achieve our NDCs, nationally determined contributions at COP21 of Paris that was held in 2015. Also sustainable development goals can be achieved. Now talking about this framework again, it has specifically focused on municipal solid and liquid waste. So that is the waste that is generated in your households, how to regenerate it, how to recycle it, or how to reduce it. So adequate focus on that is there. So right now you are probably separating your waste into dry and wet. Probably more and more innovative ideas will be coming up in future. Electronic waste, very much questionable in our country. Toxic and hazardous industrial waste, fecal sludge, plastics and construction material. The first slide of this document, of this PDF, talks about the national circular economy framework for plastics, which has been which is the snapshot from PIB. So that has been launched on 6th December already. Then it aims to reduce reliance on imported resources. As you can see, we talked about this in the benefits also, and the framework also talks about this. Decouple economic growth from resource consumption, that you do not have to go back to over consumption of raw materials only all the time for circular economy to work. There are other methods also, that is reduce resource consumption, reduce pollution, enhance resource security, improve competitiveness and attract investment. That has been talked about in the framework. Here the most important point which you can talk about in your way forward also is increased individual responsibility. If at individual level we become responsible for what products we are consuming, how we are consuming, for how long we are consuming, then I think it will be a great push and a great motivation for a move towards circular economy. Then it also stressed by 2050 $2 trillion to the domestic economy can be contributed, and it can create close to 10 million jobs. See, no framework finds popularity if it is not contributing towards generation of money or providing people livelihoods. So this is a point that should always be talked about: generation of jobs and the contribution to economy. Then the CII in the framework has also asked the government to establish a new agency called National Circular Economy Authority to implement this strategy and coordinate the activities of different agencies and industries, reform the regulations and so on. So now this was about highlights. Now let's give a summary and a way forward, and this is going to be very interesting. So first of all, talking about, yes, just summarizing that, yes, circular economy can be a powerful strategy to minimize dependence on natural resources, curtail waste, encourage sustainable design practices. We have read that. Secondly, the focus on Indian government, it has been more on recycling till now. Indian government has not focused a lot on circular economy. Now, what can be done? First of all, create a policy framework. That should be the first point in your way forward, that India can create a policy framework that outlines the goals, strategies and mechanisms to transition towards a circular economy. And NCEF is one of the parts of that. A full-fledged ministerial level policy is the need of the hour, so that even if the government changes, the policy still keeps on working, or it still gives a vision to the upcoming governments. Then there has to be, very important, coordination between companies is required. Let's say my company is producing a lot of product, let's say a lot of waste product is coming out of there. For example, glass bottles which are left at my counter by the consumers of coffee. So those glass bottles, they can be recycled, reused by some other company, by some other startup. So coordination between companies is required. For that, a portal can be created, but before that we need a policy framework. So exchange of byproducts across the value chain, this is going to be very important. It appears very simple, but because businesses just want to generate profit, nobody has the time to think about the environment, so this does not get implemented ever. Investment in waste management policies, for example, extended producer responsibility. What is the thing? That if a manufacturer like me is creating a product that will generate a lot of waste, so I should be held accountable for recycling that product, or at least for proper disposal of that product. So encouraging production and consumption of sustainable products, and through awareness, tax incentives, lesser tax on circular economic products, product labeling and awareness campaigns. You can also talk about that, tackling the challenge of greenwashing here, or promoting symbols which actually tell people that yes, this is an environmentally sustainable product that I'm buying. Individual level awareness, again I'm highlighting individual level awareness and behavioral change, that is the need of the hour. Then finally, investing in infrastructure, encouraging innovation and technology, use public-private partnership here. The initial money can come from the government, then the private sector can be pulled in and told that, see, you have so many benefits to see. We have done that in the space sector. ISRO led it for the longest possible time, and now we have private investment there. So the similar thing can be done in the circular economic model as well. So that's your conclusion, way forward, and the complete answer for the day. I hope this video has been beneficial for you. The question is on the screen again. The PDF for this discussion will be available on our Telegram channel tomorrow morning. So till then, you can watch the video again for more clarity. Also, you can read more articles on it. Go to the Google News section, see what your ministers are doing, what different ministries are doing, what brands like Adidas are doing around the world to move towards circular economic model. So we provide you free evaluation services if you post your answer to this question in the next 48 hours. And where do you have to do it? Post it in the YouTube comment sections, that is under this video, the comment section that you see. If you have any additions to make, if you have any doubts, kindly post them in the YouTube comment section only. I'll be happy to answer them. And kindly subscribe to the channel. You can contact us at this email ID or this phone number for any doubts, for any course clarifications, or for any value addition that you require from us. I'll see you on Friday at 5 p.m. again with a live session on a very important topic that that is with regards to your syllabus. Till then, all the very best. Keep working hard, and may the force be with you.